everybody. My name is Allison. I teach yoga at One Tree Yoga in Omaha, Nebraska. And we are here today at Pranam Yoga Shala, this lovely space here, the pink wall and the elephant wall behind me. Today we're kind of going to work on a little bit of everything, in that my goal isn't to turn everybody into a bunch of like pretzel-y, bendy bodies. That's not always realistic, but the goal is to just like find some more space, find a little strength, open up in places that were commonly tight, mainly like the chest, shoulders, and hips. So that's sort of going to be the goal today. I have Marcy and Michaela here with me, so we will get started. Great. All right, ladies, go ahead and lie on your backs. And actually flip around and face the wall. So we're going to use the wall quite a bit today. Yeah, and you can just lay with legs bent or straight, whatever feels comfortable for now. And so we'll spend the first minute or so just here breathing. Sort of what sets yoga apart from other physical disciplines, this idea that we can keep coming back to our breath. So just allow the inhale breath to come in through the nose, fill your lungs, fill your belly, and then on exhale, let the breath come back up and out the nose. So you don't have to do anything else, anything special. It's just trying to maintain a calm, even breath, finding some softness. That's a big piece, I hope, right, in our practice, is that we find length, we find strength, but we also find space. We also find softness. We also find this ability to be more still, be okay with more quiet. Take a couple more breaths. And then hopefully as we practice, you'll be able to sort of return to this calm, steady breath throughout. Great. So if your legs are bent, go ahead and straighten your legs and scoot close enough to the wall that you can put both feet on the wall. Keep a firm footprint with your heels on the wall, and then press your feet into the wall and straighten your legs. Let's bring the legs hip-width distance. Yeah. And arms can be by your sides like Tadasana, mountain pose. So doing a Tadasana pose on our back. So press feet into the wall, firm up the legs, and reach the fingers toward the wall. And just sort of activate legs, belly. Stay with the breath here. And then keep your left foot on the wall. Hug your right knee into your chest. You can interlace all 10 fingers around the right shin, yeah. And then pull the right knee in and press left heel into the wall. So there's some action happening. Left leg is firm, and then you can pull with the arms, right knee towards right armpit. And just take a few breaths here. Push the back of the left leg down. And take one more breath. Good. Go ahead and release right heel to the wall. Hug left knee into the chest. So same thing, side two. Pull with both arms. And keep right leg active, so really press the right heel into the wall. That's it. Firm the right thigh. Press the right thigh down. And breathe. So let the belly sort of puff up into the left thigh as you pull with the arms. Great. Take one more breath. And then you can release your left leg. Put your left heel on the wall. Find that reclined mountain pose. So firm the legs, reach the fingertips toward the heels, and press the heels into the wall. Super. Bend your legs, put both feet on the floor. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So sort of, like we're gonna set up for the figure four stretch. So pick your left foot up off the floor and thread your right arm through the hole between your legs. Yeah, interlace all 10 fingers underneath the left knee. Super. And then you get to kind of decide how deep of a hip stretch you want. So the more that you pull the left leg in, it's going to feel a little more intense. So if you want less, pull less. Yeah, stay active in your right foot. Pull the left leg towards you. And then you can even use your right elbow at the inner right thigh to nudge your right thigh away from you a little bit. And just feel the space in the outer right hip. I don't know, I've been teaching a long time. I have yet to meet somebody that doesn't have at least some tightness or something happening in the hips. It's sort of part of the gig. So take 2 more breaths. One more breath. Okay, good. And then you can release the left leg. Put your left foot on the floor, uncross ankle to thigh, put both feet on the floor. Pause and just sort of check that out. Great. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Pick your right foot up off the floor. Same thing, thread your left arm through this time. Interlace all 10 fingers underneath the left knee. Yeah, and then pull with your arms. And you can use your left elbow to gently nudge the left thigh toward the wall in front of you. And usually this is a good place to check in and notice, which hip feels tighter, which side feels maybe more challenging for me. That's good information, right? You might want to spend a little bit longer, maybe later, on your tighter side. I know you guys are going to go home and do that, right? Take a couple more breaths. And then you can let go of the left leg, place both feet on the floor, and just pause here and check that out. Awesome. All right, ladies, go ahead and roll to your right side and press all the way up so you're on your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers wide, and we'll do what's called cat-cow, so I'm sure you're familiar. It's really about moving the pelvis. So on your inhale, you're going to lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling and sort of arch your low back, and then look up at the ceiling. So you do a little baby back bend. And then on the exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, push your hands into the mat, tuck your tail under, nice, round your spine and scoop your belly. Good, do that a couple more times. So tip your pelvis forward, back arches, look up, chest up. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, scoop the belly, and round. You got it. Let's do that 2 more rounds of breath. So inhale, this is the cow pose, cow shape, and then exhale, cat pose. Awesome, 1 more like that. Inhale. And the exhale to the cat pose. And then you can just come back to middle, neutral spine. Bring your big toes together, knees as wide as your mat. Shift your hips back into child's pose. Awesome. You can let your arms be soft. So yeah, these ladies make it look easy. They get their hips right to their heels. Great if that can happen. If it can't happen, do the best you can. You can always prop a blanket or something up on your heels if you need a little more room. And just let your forehead rest on the mat, sort of ground there. And like we did at the very beginning of class when you were on your back, check back into your breath. One more breath. Awesome. And you guys can walk your hands back, come all the way up to sit. Just sit on your heels for a second. So we're going to use the wall quite a bit from now until the end. So I want you guys to go ahead and stand up. And you're going to bring your hands about as high as your hips on the wall. And you spread your fingers like you did in cat-cow. And then walk your feet back so they're just slightly behind your hips. And then bend at the hips like an L shape. You might need to walk your heels more under your hips, depending. Yeah, so you make like a 90-degree angle. You guys can see probably right here, there's a nice 90-degree angle happening. Great, and then try your best to make your arms as straight as you can, so like you're pushing the wall away from you. That's it, ladies. And then bend your knees a little bit, and like you were doing the cow pose, the cow shape, lift your hips up and try to arch your low back more. Try to maintain that, and then as best you can, slowly straighten your legs. Nice. Press the wall away and get as much length in the spine as you can. So you're trying to go long, long, long into the spine. We call this wall dog. Instead of downward facing dog, we do it at the wall. We'll get there later with downward facing dog. So take 2 more breaths. And then walk your feet just like halfway into the wall so that you can stand up without falling over. And just stand facing the wall, arms by your side. Mountain pose, Tadasana. So firm your legs, just like when you were on your backs, pressing your heels into the wall. Firm legs, lift your belly, and pause. Great, so next up we're gonna change wall dog up a little bit. So you're gonna have one foot, let's do right foot in front, hands to the wall, and then sort of squiggle your left heel back, keep your heel up, sort of like you're doing a lunge. Yes, you might need to go pretty wide. And then push your hands into the wall and try to stretch your heel down, your back heel down any amount. So you can get a stretch in the back of the left leg. And bend more deeply into the right knee and press your left heel towards the floor. So the good news is, like, if you feel a stretch, you're good. It doesn't need to look or necessarily be a certain way. Take one more breath like that. And then you can relax the back leg and swap sides. So left foot in front, right leg back. Sort of like a lunge here at the wall. So bend deeply into the left knee. Push the wall away like you did in wall dog. Firm your back right leg. And try to stretch your right heel towards the floor. Yeah. Firm more the right leg. And stretch your left heel down. Rather your right leg, right heel down. Last breath. Good, and then you can stand, stay facing the wall, and just pause for a moment. Great. One more thing just like that. So hands go back to the wall, right foot in front. This time, you're going to spin your left heel down so it's at an angle, like a 45-degree angle. Great. Keep your right knee bent deeply, and then try to pull your left hip forward. See if you can square the hips any amount. That's it, you guys. Sink into the right leg more, and then it's going to be harder, so you do your best to keep the back left leg super straight and press down through the left heel. And the more you push your hands into the wall, the more you can pull the right hip back away from the wall. That's it. Take one more breath here. Firm left leg a lot. Great. Relax. Swap sides. Left foot forward, right leg back. Spin the right heel down at a 45-degree angle. Good. Bend into the left knee. Steer the right hip forward more. And then super duper activate your right leg. Dig your right heel into the floor. So you want to firm your right leg a lot. Yeah. And pull the left hip back. Good. Take one more big breath. Awesome. And then you can just step your feet together, stay facing the wall. Pause. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Breathe. Great. So why don't you ladies turn your right side to the wall. And then you're going to just stretch your right arm up. Yep, you got it. Palm facing the wall. And you'll have to sort of decide, how close you need to get per your shoulder. And then, like the hands of a clock, just walk your right hand to maybe 1 o'clock and pause. Yeah, you do your best to keep your arm as straight as you can. See if you can turn your belly a little bit away from the wall and breathe. Walk your right hand more towards 2 o'clock. Again, maybe you don't get all the way to 2 o'clock. You get somewhere in between. That's cool. Push your right palm into the wall. Turn your belly and chest more to the left. Nice, you guys. And firm your legs like mountain pose. Any amount you can walk the right hand a little bit more to the right, fine, but don't go past your shoulder's ability. There's a difference between, ooh, I feel a really good stretch, and like, oh no, this is not good. Good, now take a peek at your right arm, and you're gonna just bend your right elbow so it's a 90-degree angle. Yep, elbow straight up from the shoulder. Put your left hand on your hip, and then try to turn your body away from the wall so you get a little bit of a stretch in your chest. And then slowly straighten your right arm and turn your chest away from the wall. So chest stretch, yes. Spread your right fingers, if that's okay, good. And draw your belly and your shoulders to the left. Breathe. Great, you guys. Go ahead and walk your right hand back up where it came. And then put your right arm by your side. You can stay facing that side for a moment and just take a breath, mountain pose. And then flip yourself around so that the left side of your body's to the wall. Awesome. Stretch your left arm up onto the wall. And then decide how close or not close you need to be. Spread your left fingers, and then you can walk your left hand back slightly, more like 11 o'clock. And breathe there. So firm left arm, and try to turn your chest away from the wall. So, you know, many of us spend time sitting, seated, driving, typing. I have a 5-month-old at home carrying heavy babies, right? So the shoulders, the chest get really tight. Walk your hand a little more to the left, pause, spread your fingers, roll the chest away any amount, and breathe. Try to plug your left shoulder towards your left back pocket. Last move to walk your hand a little bit to the left. Again, just go as far as your shoulder girdle allows. Then you can peek at your left arm so you see what's happening. Bend your left elbow like a 90-degree angle. That's it, ladies. Good work. And then turn the chest away from the wall. And slowly you can start to straighten your left arm so it's in line, left hand in line with your shoulder. Good. And then turn the chest, turn the belly, draw the tailbone down, firm the legs, and breathe. Take one more big breath. Great. And then walk your hand back up. So come out the way you came in. And then arms by your side, stand in mountain pose. Take a breath. Awesome. You guys can face the front of your mat. This time we're going to come to hands and knees, but our feet are going to be close to the wall, maybe a few inches from the wall. Have your hands a little in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingers, and then we're going to go into that 90-degree angle shape we did at the wall, except now we're going to take it into downward facing dog. So up you come, heels, let's do them right above these little gold things, and then crawl your hands forward to lengthen the downward dog. So you're making more of like a V shape, but it's still 90 degrees. Nice. So press your heels into the wall. It gives you some feedback. And push your hands into the floor. If this feels like too much too soon, you can always come back to the 90-degree angle wall dog. Breathe. And then look at your hands and slowly walk your feet up to your hands. Bend your knees as needed. And then keep your feet hip-width distance. Spread your toes. Straighten your legs as much as you can and fold forward. Yeah, relax the back of the neck. Lean some weight forward into the pads of the toes. That's it. Option to keep your knees as bent as you need them to. You'll still get a stretch. But as much as you're able to straighten the legs at this point, then straighten your legs. From here, bend your knees enough so that you have your fingertips on the floor. Some of you are going to have to bend your knees more than others. And then just reach your left foot way back so that you can get your back left heel all the way up the wall. Yeah, so we're in a lunge here. Firm your left leg a lot and squeeze your inner thighs toward each other. Good. Put your hands on your right thigh and start to bring your torso up. Nice. Squeeze your back leg. Remember a long time ago we did that stretch at the wall, so try to press your left heel into the wall. And then either hands stay on the right thigh, or if you feel ready, arms can come up overhead to a high lunge. If arms overhead is too much, option to do like a cactus shape, 90-degree arms. Great, ladies. Hands back to the floor. Step your back foot forward to meet the front foot. Straighten your legs and fold. Soften your head and neck. And breathe. Bend your knees a lot so your fingertips are right under your shoulders. And then this time, step your right leg way, way back to the wall. So you can clearly do this without the wall. I like the feedback the wall provides. So press your right heel into the wall, firm your right leg. And then bring your hands to your left thigh and lift your torso up. And then usually once you come upright, it's gonna feel harder to keep your back leg straight. So use the wall more. Awesome. And then inhale, arms up. You can always do this with hands on the floor, knee on the floor. Great. Lower your hands. Step your back foot forward. Straighten your legs. Soften your neck. Fold forward. Breathe. Let's do one more standing pose here. Bend your knees. Step your left leg way, way back to the wall. Great. This time, like we did earlier, you're going to spin your back heel down so it's at a 45-degree angle. So turn your left toes in slightly. And then before you come up, try to square your hips as best you can. Right hip back, left hip forward. Now super firm your back left leg. Put your hands on your hips this time and inhale, slowly come up. We call this warrior one. You can always modify with your back heel up. Try to square the hips toward the front of the room, and then option, arms straight up, or do your 90-degree bent elbow arms. Awesome. Warrior one. Pull the belly back. Take one more breath. It's a big pose. And then exhale, touch down, hands down. Step your back foot forward. Straighten your legs and fold. Last one. Bend your knees. This time step your right leg way, way back. Spin your back heel down. Back foot's at an angle. Sit low in your hips. Steer your right hip forward and your left hip back. Good. Hands to hips. Up you come. Yeah, stay low in the legs. Firm your back leg. And then here we go. Last big move. Arms up. Or cactus arms. Warrior one. Well done. And then, you know, it's a bigger pose, so the work is to try to like breathe like it's no biggie. Not make the crazy yoga face. We all have one. One more breath. Good. Hands down. Step your back foot forward. Straighten your legs and fold. And put your hands on your hips. Slowly, take your time, come all the way up to stand. Pause in mountain pose. Great, you guys. So let's make our way onto the backs. Lie back. Yep, you're going to have your feet where they are. Lie back and have your knees bent. And walk your heels back so they're underneath your knees. Good. So turn your palms to face down. And then on your inhale, push your arms down and lift your hips up. So you make a bridge shape. Option to just keep your palms down and tuck your shoulders under. If you've got some room, option to interlace all 10 fingers underneath you and tuck your shoulders under. Yeah. Then you'd really tuck. There it is. Push your arms down either way. Lift your hips up and just get the space in the front of the body. And take 2 more breaths if you can. Great. Release your hands. Lower the hips down. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Let the knees knock in. Rest your hands on your belly and pause. So starting to let the breath slow down and settle. Keep your knees together, bring your feet together, and then hug both knees into the chest. Keep both knees into the chest. Stretch your arms out to the side like a T shape, palms face up. And then go ahead and just let your knees tip to the right and just let them soften towards the floor. They don't have to stay perfectly lined up. It can be relaxed. Good, and then hold your outer left knee with your right hand. And if it feels okay, roll your head to the left. Good, so just take a gentle twist here to help sort of loosen up any crabbiness that may have happened in the back or just in general sort of getting the spine to rotate. It's a good thing. One more breath here. Release right hand out to the side, tip the knees to center into the chest, and then over you go to the left. Left hand holds the outer right knee and you can roll your head to the right. Take a few breaths here, so stay soft in the belly. The goal is to not try so hard, right? To try less effort, more softening. And then release left arm, tip the knees back to center. Feet can come back to the floor. And then final pose, you guys at home are welcome to take longer. I encourage it, is Shavasana, so corpse pose. Straighten your legs, close your eyes, and just let everything go. So allow the palms to flip up and the toes to flop out. And even allow the eyelids to be soft and heavy. So you want to be as soft as you can, sort of where we let everything sink in. Practice resting, practice softening. So like I said, I encourage you to stay longer in the rest. Otherwise, thank you for joining.